Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I hope that everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. It is my favorite holiday of the year. It's the one non-commercialized holiday, and the whole point of it is just to enjoy your family and your friends and to celebrate the relationships that you have and be grateful for what you have. And I like that. My camera keeps going from vivid color to kind of a muted color, and I'm not sure why. Anyway, I wonder if it's going to show up on the actual YouTube video. Anyway, so it turns out that I was right. Crazy. Who would have thought that a first-year family law attorney would have been able to predict what a judge would do? But I was slightly wrong. I thought the court was going to grant his request, Jose Decastro's request, for 21 days after all the motions were resolved for him to file his response to their counterclaims, his answer to their counterclaims. The judge did not grant that. The judge granted it only in part. The judge gave him 20 days. Now, Chile's not going to be smart enough to figure out what that is, but that's the court saying, fuck you. You're coming into my house and insulting me, and you're then asking me for a favor. How about I'm going to show you that I don't have to give you what you want, and I'm going to give you just enough of it that you're not going to be able to really appeal it or anything like that. So I'll give you 20 days instead of 21 days. That's a sign. That's the court saying, fuck you, dude. That's the court saying, fuck you. That's the court saying, you better check yourself before I rickety wreck yourself. Bear that in mind. Now, besides me being Merbstradamus, I guess because I'm Merbstradamus, I'm going to predict the future. And the future I'm going to predict is that Chile will not seek... I'm going to guess that Chile did not realize that by filing his first amended complaint, he was replacing his original complaint. My guess is that he thought that he was adding a cause of action and adding does to his original complaint. He was not. He was replacing his original complaint. So the defamation is gone, and the intentional infliction of emotional distress is gone. Now, my prediction is that unless he sees this video, he's not going to be smart enough to realize he's going to have to re-add those to his federal complaint, to this federal complaint. And he's going to have to throw himself on the mercy of the court and say, I was a pro se. I didn't know that I was eliminating my original complaint. I thought that I was supplementing it. I thought that I was adding a cause of action, not eliminating two cause of actions. And if he does that, and if the court grants him leave to file a second amended complaint, great. Then he could file a second amended complaint and basically resurrect his causes of action for defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. But my guess is that he's not smart enough to do that, or that he thinks he knows the law better than I do, or that he places more trust in Mark than in me. And that's fine. He has all the right in the world to make those mistakes. If he does not trust me, if he does not think that it's the smart thing to do to try to fix that first amended complaint to resurrect those two causes of action, then his next step, I predict, is going to be to file in California State Court, to sue Josh and Kate here for the defamation and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Now, I don't think that's going to work very well for him for a couple of reasons. First of all, he has a real problem with personal jurisdiction over Josh and Kate. And second of all, those claims are dead. Those claims are res judicata. They are on the merits. They're done. He raised them in a court that had jurisdiction over them. He then withdrew them and proceeded on with another cause of action. He abandoned them. And that is an adjudication on the merits. At least that's my understanding of it. Maybe there's some weird thing in the First Circuit where that doesn't work that way. But my understanding is that those are dead, done, and gone. Unless he resurrects them with a second amended complaint. So he has two problems if he files in California. Now, I will also want to caution Mark discussing laws, Dr. Law. And my caution is that you've been doxxed. Like, you've been doxxed hard. Everybody knows everything about you. They found your daughter's videos, dude. Like, they know everything. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to caution you. I'm certainly not coming for you. I am only offering you a word of caution. And that word of caution is that Kate's fans are pieces of shit. And they will snitch on you. Kate's Karens will snitch on you. And right now, while you're doing the shit you're doing with Chili in a federal district court in Massachusetts, California State Bar isn't going to care about. Will not care. I mean, the odds of them getting involved in that are somewhere between slim and none. So Kate's Karens can tell on you all day long, right now, with little to no effect. I don't think the State Bar is going to raise a finger to do anything. However, if there's a case in California where you're representing Chili, and I know you don't think you are, but if you haven't crossed the line, you're on it, brother. So, like, this is just a word of caution. The State Bar will become very concerned, especially when Kate's little brigade of Karens all start reporting you. The State Bar, their purpose is to protect the practice of law. And having unlicensed people practicing law causes harm to the profession, especially when they've said things like, I'm licensed to practice in 2 states. Especially when they've held themselves out to be an attorney, where they've called themselves an attorney. I'm just saying that maybe you should be concerned. If Chili refiles in California, my best advice to you, not legal advice, there's no legal relationship between you and me, but my best personal advice, man to man, is that you become much more circumspect. I wouldn't trust Chili. Chili can't keep a secret to save his life. He lives out in the open. Except for his sexuality, he lives out in the open. He lives out in the open. He publishes everything, including you. He doxed you. He started the ball rolling, dude. I wouldn't trust him to keep anything private between you and him in California State Court if he wasn't able to keep it private in the federal court. And I know people are going to give me a lot of shit about it, and I don't care. I don't dislike you. I don't agree with you. I don't think you're doing anybody any good with your videos. I think you're misleading a lot of people and doing a lot of harm, but I don't dislike you. That takes too much effort for me to dislike you. You're probably a nice person. You probably mean well, and that's great. And, you know, my offer to take you out to lunch still stands. And if you don't want to talk about what's going on with Chili or what's going on with this lawsuit, we can talk about Minecraft or whatever else interests you. So, you know, I'm not coming at you out of hate or spite or anything like that. I don't want to see you risk what you've built with your family and all that fun stuff. Legal bills are a bitch. And the California State Bar has unlimited resources to throw at you. And the California State, because it is a crime to practice law without a license in California, you know, defense bills can get pretty out of hand too. So I'm just, you know, I know you're not going to take my advice, but I really hope you do. I really hope you do, because you've been doxxed and no good is going to come from this, bro. No good is going to come from this. So anyway, I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. I hope Kate's Karens learn how to stop inserting themselves. I know, you know, when I was younger, my mom watched Days of Our Lives and other soap operas. One of her favorites was Dallas. She loved Dallas. It came on at night. I remember that. And she hated J.R.R. Ewing with a passion. She loved to hate J.R.R. Ewing. And they actually made a commercial about Dallas and about how people love to hate J.R.R. Ewing. And people watch the show to hate J.R.R. Ewing. And that's kind of what we have now with the internet, with, Chili is basically J.R.R. Ewing. He's the people everybody love to hate. He's the person everybody loves to hate. The difference between then and now is that people can insert themselves in the soap opera, and they do it because they have inflated senses of self-worth and inflated senses of ego. People like, I used to respect you, but now I am unsubbing from your channel. I'm like, who the fuck are you? Like, if you had just left, I never would have known. Like, people have an over-exaggerated sense of self-worth. They think they're important. And I guess they think that their favorite creators are incompetent and incapable of defending themselves, either on the internet or in the court. And they want to insert themselves in the matter like their opinion is noteworthy for any reason, or that they have a better understanding than the actual people who are actually involved in the situation. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And I know everybody's going to be flooding my little comment section saying, oh, but I'm justified. Chili wasn't justified when he ran to Mommy about strikes, about striking people's claims. He wasn't justified, but we're justified when we run to Mama and we snitch on Chili. Chili wasn't justified when he snitched on my favorite creator, but I'm justified when I snitch on Chili. Or something. It's stupid. But anyway, I digress. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. And remember, I'm not monetized. I don't care if you unsub. Have a great day.